Hey everybody, this is Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for watching the AIWF Network YouTube channel as well as the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel. If you like what you see, please do us a big favor. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications every time we post new videos on both our channels. It means a lot to us, and thanks a lot for watching once again. Hi, good evening, wrestling fans, or good morning whenever you're watching this on YouTube. But hello, especially to our live Facebook crowd. Welcome to this week's edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Hall of Famer Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Hall of Famer Stephen Hayes. How are you today, Stephen?
I'm lovely, Matt. I am golden.
I don't normally call myself Hall of Famer Mad Matt Carter all the time, but sometimes I like to do it. It feels good, and it was an award very hard earned, so I don't
and well deserved.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and you could say that every week, and I will not get mad because I told everybody when they announced that I was going in the Hall of Fame, I was like, "Oh, you're going to regret this because you're never going to hear the end of it."
If you're like me, I'm surprised I haven't got a shirt yet that just says Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I tell people, like in my shoot job, if I have to do an introduction and they do the thing where you have to tell something about yourself, I always say, well, I do ring announcing for and podcast host for Independent Wrestling Federation here in North Carolina. And in 2015, I was elected to their Hall of Fame. So ask yourself this question. How many people in a Hall of Fame do you know? The answer is one, at least now.
Yeah, the golf course I work at, I hang my Hall of Fame plaque there.
Nice.
Just because.
I love it. Well, Rick Diesel has joined us. Rick Diesel, how are you, sir?
Lord, wide open, Matt. I can jump in for a few minutes. You know how it is this time of year for me. It's just crazy.
Let's go ahead and wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. I talked to my mother earlier today, and Susan Hodges, so she did a bang 'em up job with me, I think. Well, I mean, she did the best she could. Let's just put it like that.
I hear you, bro.
Any of the negative stuff was on me, not her.
Matt, you would not believe. Amongst all the other things that I do, I also spend Sundays doing video for the network.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my Sundays now. Is that, and plus the 1,500 other things people call me away from. I've had to leave the computer 20 times a day, and I'm waiting on the call now because being Mother's Day, I had a Mother's Day breakfast, almost had a Mother's Day lunch, and now I'm waiting for the call for the Mother's Day supper. It's complicated, but anyway, that'll be what drags me away at some point. But I was doing the stuff for the upcoming week of the network. And you would not believe what I have. You would not believe what I have stumbled across.
Oh my! Can you give me any hint, or is this going to have to be an off-the-air conversation?
No. I can tell you exactly what it is because I'm going to. You'll remember it because it's good. It was such good stuff. But I'm going to take them and cut them out of the episode of each episode one at a time, and release them as their own little snippets on the Facebook page.
Okay.
All right. So but I don't know if you remember The Adventures of Brad and Rick.
Yes, I remember. I've got a DVD with some of the clips of that just randomly on there because I filmed those, I believe.
I think you filmed some of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think we did a whole lot, but I found, let's see, so far I found 2 episodes of The Adventures of Brad and Rick. It was the porn episode, but anyway, it was but I've also found Bad Kitty's tips on how to manage your man.
Oh my, yeah, we've been hunting that one for a few years now.
Well, no, that ain't the whipping; it's the other one.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping to run across the whipping of Bad Brad somewhere in all this.
I've been a bad,
but these are gold, man, and I'm gonna release them hopefully sometime this week. I'll release them on the Facebook page, not on the network, because they'll be on the network in the Cyber Zone episodes.
Yeah,
but I got to pull them out. I just cannot people just cannot be deprived of that.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was watching the Cyber Zone you put up the other day with me and Sweets. Absolute gold. Love it.
Yeah. Well, the episode coming up this week on the Cyber Zone is going to be. Do you remember the feud Fight Club had with Justin Flash?
Yes.
And Flash had to go through Knuckles to get at Chris Severn at Capital Punishment.
Yep.
That's that episode that's up this week.
Oh wow.
Okay, cool.
That's amazing.
Depending on if I get the video from the newest member that's supposed to start either this week or next week on the network, we've got another show that's going to be debuting either this week or next week on the network, depending on when they get me their video. They sent it to me one time, but I'm having to redo the file format. So it'll debut Thursday, but that'll push the Cyber Zone probably back to Saturday, or Cyber Zone will be on Thursday. It's weird how I have to do this, but I'm actually up to the point now where I can have new content from a different source almost every day of the week now.
That's awesome, and that's the goal with YouTube. I mean, like I was gonna text you after the show and be like, "Hey, this is what I've got scheduled for the Ringside Wrestling channel. I need this many files."
I'm so far behind.
I know.
But with the food trucks going out 5 days a week now, that also cuts into a lot of time. Luckily, Greenhouse is about sold out, so
that'll free you up a little bit, maybe.
A little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's why the texts don't come as frequently as they did during the cold weather. That's for sure.
But anyway, great show last night. Is that what you're
Yes.
going to talk about, or whatever I can get in on before the call comes in?
That's what I wanted.
Anyway.
That's what I wanted to cover, and so we're going to. That's what I had planned to cover first, anyway. So let's jump right into it. You guys know all our socials, so I'm not going to review that because we're short on time with Rick Diesel. I really hope, Rick Diesel, that you're able to somehow stay for the Ric Flair Pizzeria incident, because that has been making quite a lot.
I've seen that online.
Yes, isn't that something? You should be able to see the slideshow now, and we had the big match last night in Mount Airy. It was a TV taping, but boy, it was crazy. We had the debut of a new guy from Charlotte, right down here in Charlotte, named Gary the Love Machine Strider. And he came out to Jackie Moon's from the movie Semi-Pro, Love Me Sexy. Very similar to what White Mike was doing at one time. And the place went crazy. They were instantly in love with him. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can say, Matt, that the episode of Mid-Atlantic this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on the AIWF Network on YouTube, we'll have your encounter with Corey Edsel in the ring from last night.
Yeah. Stephen Hayes, do you hear that? I had to get in the ring. I was terrified. Terrified.
I can understand that. Especially with Corey.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like, because I looked at him as I was climbing the steps, and I was like, I don't want to do this. This usually doesn't end well for me. And he was like, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I looked at Brian, and Brian's, coaxing me like, go ahead. I would do it. Yeah, you would do it. You're a trained professional wrestler. You can handle yourself in here. If Corey decided,
it don't matter how much you're trained. You're getting in there with a shaved down bear.
No kidding. But fortunately, I didn't get mixed up too much in it. I talked to Corey, and you'll have to wait and see Tuesday night what happened. I'm not going to spoil it.
But I can tell you this, Matt, when in all sincerity and in all honesty, the banter back and forth between you and Brian before each match, it's making it into it's getting so good that it's making it into the episodes.
Really? Yeah. For those
as
of you,
much as I can get in time frame, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff you guys talk about, just back and forth for the crowd, you do it for the crowd too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for the live audience.
It's so good.
Well, I'm glad you like it. And hopefully we can share some of that with the online fans. I'll tell you another reason, folks. If you're anywhere near Mount Airy, you got to come out and see this live. It is so much fun live. It's like any sporting event, but it's so much fun live. So one of the things we had played up that was Seth Clayton Burns had an offer for Ty Tyson, and that did not go well for Seth Burns. He tried to get Ty Tyson to join his Burns, what does he call it? SC
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's SCB Enterprises. And he's got in the fold with him, he's got Case and Kane, Pretty Boy Lane, Mickey Fulton, and Marvelous Mason Matthews. And two of those guys, Kaysen and Lane, have a lot of experience working in factions. So they are usually where they need to be at the right time. You know what I mean? Because Lane was in the Pink Gang. They were very successful. Kaysen was in the Fighters Club, very successful. So Seth Clayton Burns got quite a group together here.
Yes, I agree. It's probably one of since the Fighters Club, it's probably one of the most impressive groups to be put together. The ladies. See, there's a lot of people don't realize when they talk about the Fighters Club, don't get them mixed up with the Fight Club from the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Who was in that? I know you said.
Oh, big guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Jason Blade, Severin. We had Knuckles for a little while, and that was pretty much your crux of it, with Jade managing.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's pretty tough group of characters there, including Jade.
She was the worst of us, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
she was a mastermind. Going back and watching some of the Cyberzone episodes now, that you guys were featured in. She was very ring savvy on the outside there. She was a true leader.
She knew where she needed to be when she needed to be there, and she kept us straight on what we needed to do. So I will never complain about that. And if I did, she's sitting right behind me, and I'd get hit. So,
but she was another one that didn't just stand there, and that's always appreciated. I mentioned Essence a whole lot. Amanda, when she was out there, she was very active, and Jade was the same way. And so, so another great faction that's come to the AIWF.
The only difference that I see in these two incarnations of this group, and this is exactly what it was: Fight Club, Fighters Club. Okay. The only two differences, you had Jack and Clara in the latter, and Stephen Hayes and Jade in the former. The only difference in the way it was run and the way they thought things out, the only difference I seen was that Jade did not wrestle matches.
No.
Right.
But it's almost like it's almost like a reincarnation one of the other.
Yeah.
It's what you were saying a couple episodes ago. I wish that the body would have still held up, and for me to be there when Jack came in, and just to be able to do something with Jack, I think it could have been right.
Oh, you and Jack would have freaking tore the place apart, man.
Oh God, yeah.
God, yes.
Yep. Just seeing what went on with him and Flash, and what is going on with him and Flash, which we'll get to that. But anyway,
but also think about it. The similarities. I can't stop thinking about the similarities of this, because that's what you just mentioned, him and Flash. Well, in the early 2000s, Fighters Club, what was their main target?
Flash.
Flash.
It was always Flash.
I mean, it's almost like history repeating itself with it's almost like they remade the movie with new villains.
Yeah.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Yeah.
It's amazing. And if you want to see the similarities, go back and watch these Cyberzone episodes that's been going up over the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's Christian Bale. I'm Ben Affleck. It's still Batman.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. But anyway, Seth Clayton Burns he tried to do it a sophisticated way. He brought out tea and a homemade chocolate pie that, according to him, Pretty Boy Lane had made homemade. I thought it was lemon meringue. I couldn't get a look at it real good because it had a lot of whipped cream on top. But Rick Diesel, things went downhill, and as somebody who's got my own gravitational pull, I was disappointed to see a perfectly good chocolate pie plumb wasted. But that's what happened. But don't think for a minute, folks, and you're going to be able to see it on the network. that Seth Clayton Burns and company took that lying down. Oh no. There would be consequences and repercussions. And we've been bragging on Seth Clayton Burns the last few weeks about how he seems to be really strengthening that faction. That happened some more last night, I really believe.
Yeah.
All right. So next thing we want to move on to and kind of cover a little bit for you. We finally had it. I told the audience there last night it was the grudge match of the year, at least, maybe even of the decade. And this match went over 20 minutes and was one of the damnedest fights I have seen in the AIWF in quite a while. And I don't mean just the Mid-Atlantic. I'm talking about any of the AIWF stuff I've seen from around the world. These two, I even used an old Bob Caudle line on the fan cam video. This is hate pouring over. You know, I mean, it was ugly. It was a back and forth, ugly, ugly match. And in the end, JAC, he told me, he said there's enough Jacks in wrestling, so start using the initials. That's what he told me last night. So, yes, sir. He cut David Parrish's hair, and not like shaving his head like a haircut match. No, after the match, he got a pair of kitchen scissors, you know, the normal size kitchen scissors like you get at Walgreens or Food Lion or something, and just cut off a huge chunk of his hair. I couldn't believe it. I think there's a picture on social somewhere of that happening. It was incredible. And let me see.
Hey, man, you get a victory, you take a trophy.
Yeah, well, he took one all right. I tried to sell it to the crowd, but nobody wanted to buy it. I was going to see if anybody make any offers. I figured it was worth a try at least, but everybody was
just put it up on eBay.
Everybody was horrified, but I don't know what happened to all that hair. I guess JAC has got it. Let me see if I can find that picture he posted on social, and I'll share it with you guys. Do what? I heard
Jade said sell it to an ex-girlfriend for voodoo.
Let's see. Where is I don't see it on his social, at least on Facebook. It might have been on another one. But if I can run across it, I'll put it up here. But anyway. So that was a great match. I also had let's see what else we had here. JT Moss and No Joke Aaron Wilson had a hell of a match. Jackson Sane and Joe No Comparison Joe Harrison had a great match. We got a new referee in the Mid-Atlantic. His name is Drake. He did a couple of matches last night. Nice young man, very polite, very attentive. This is the kind of kid who watches WWE and watches the referee during the match. Because because you don't notice him there, but you notice how good a job he's doing. You know what I mean? It's just like he's a great referee. So
Perfect.
We saw a new guy, a guy named Baron von Kraus. Yeah, Kraus, from Germany. And he was trying to get into Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises, but that didn't go well. He had a match with Ty Tyson. I mean, he was able to hang with Ty Tyson I thought he would hang with him for about 3 minutes, and the match went longer than that. So he was able to hang with him for a little while, but in the end, it didn't go his way, and I'm sure you'll see that. And we got a treat because JAC was there, Clara was there, and kudos to the Mid-Atlantic Championship Committee. They found her challenger, the great Sasaki.
That's a rematch from when Claire won the belt in West Virginia.
And let me tell you something. That first match was good. This one was 5 times better. Oh, my God. You want to talk about intense. I mean, I see improvement in both of them.
And you know what? Being in the Mid-Atlantic in front of our fans, because our fans are a different animal from everybody else. Always have been for 30 years. Being in front of our fans brings out the best in a lot of wrestlers. They'll have matches there'll be 2 wrestlers that'll have a match somewhere else and then come here and wrestle each other, and it'll be completely different because there's something about the AIWF fans that just makes wrestlers just put out that extra, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The energy they've always gave off, it'll make you take that extra step, go a little extra mile.
Yeah.
Make you do something dumb that you normally wouldn't do. I speak from experience.
They bring adrenaline. It's like they make adrenaline just boil up in you.
Yeah.
You feed off the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We had I guess Metallico now is a permanent member of the Higher Calling, THC. And he teamed with Buddy Flowers last night, and they went up against Marvelous Mason Matthews and Corey Etzel, Danger C. Corey Etzel. And you're going to have to wait. I'm not going to tell you any more about that match other than it happened. You're going to have to see on Mid-Atlantic episode upcoming in the next few weeks what happened in that match and the psychological effects it's going to have moving forward on some particular individuals. That's all I'll tell you. It was a great matchup. And then to round out the night, we had a very unusual match. I've never seen a match like this where you had a champion versus champion situation, but they were only going to wrestle for one title, and that was determined at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, they did not know which belt was online until they were in the ring, and then it was determined by a coin toss. No way to prepare for that.
No, and it ended up going Justin Flash's way, so he challenged Mickey Fulp for the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Television Championship. But since our audience for the Mid-Atlantic shows is way bigger than this one, I don't feel in a bad way telling you. I'll tell you this much. Mickey Fulp is on a hot streak right now. Now, whether you want to argue there's skullduggery involved in those victories or not, you'd be well within your right to do so. But this looks like the Mickey Fulp that was able to dethrone Ty Tyson from the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship a few years ago. I don't know if that was pre or post-pandemic. Remember the match that he and Ty Tyson had at the all-girls show where Mickey won the title? He's got that kind of momentum right now. I really think so. I mean,
in fact, coin toss, if he could have had that same match and that coin toss had went the other way,
we'd have a new champion.
We'd have a new Mid-Atlantic champion. I do believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the weird thing is also JAC came back out at the end of the night and addressed Justin Flash about what a crappy champion he's been, because not only did he lose last night, but he talked trash about Justin Flash losing possession of the title to Corey Etzel and being champion for months while we took our winter break and not being in possession of the belt. And he said, JAC said, that proves you don't care as much about the title as I did. And Justin Flash.
I like JAC more and more. I hear about it.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
The similarities are uncanny.
Yeah. And other promotions are figuring it out, man, because that's why we don't see him as much. But he's all over South Carolina and Tennessee and here in North Carolina, he's officially an NWA star now. Yeah, he wrestled on the NWA television program. So anytime that show burned its bridge with me several years ago with the whole Cornette incident and then putting up a paywall. But I will tell you this, if I find out that he is on an episode, I will watch. And I will too. And that will help. They be like, wait a minute. Our numbers are going up when this guy's on. It might be only two people in North Carolina, but that's got to start somewhere.
You'll get another one. You'll get another one.
You got one from Tennessee.
Yeah, that's right.
Two guys from North Carolina, one from Tennessee. Every time JAC's on, they watch, but they don't watch any other time.
The moment he's out of the ring, our number goes back down by 3.
So if we hear of JAC going back on the NWA, we'll announce it here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so everybody watching can go and watch it also.
Yeah,
we'll help him make NWA's numbers go up.
You know what? The good thing about that CW app, and people will be like, well, it's on the app. You don't have to create a login and password for that app. It's absolutely free. You just click, go to the program you want, click, and it plays. Now, you have to watch ads. But if you were watching the CW on your regular TV over the antenna, you'd have to watch ads.
Ads. Yeah.
So the CW is doing a good job of extending programs. If they don't think it'll do good over the air, they try it out on the stream. And so if you watch those streaming shows that are exclusive to the stream, then they might make it into the lineup.
Right.
You know, and they'd be like, well, those are non-traditional network stations. I don't even know if kids recognize that anymore. But they're not, if it's not the big four, you know, ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS. But those days are long gone, man. Streaming is the thing.
The
now.
big four: Netflix, Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus.
Yeah, exactly. So times they are changing. So, but you know, and it's funny. Something happened last week. They talked about on Cornette's podcast. Here's how just a surge in program and viewership in a program can cause something major to happen. In Me TV, right, shows the old Saturday morning cartoons, right, on Saturday morning. Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, now Woody Woodpecker, which I love because he was my favorite when I was like 3. And so because they've been getting the ratings are so big for those cartoon shows, they're going to launch a Me TV cartoon network that's going to be awesome. Nothing but like Cartoon Network was in the beginning, and then like Boomerang was for a while.
Yeah.
And then they both drifted away.
Wait a minute, Boomerang ain't the old classic cartoons anymore?
Not anymore. No, they're classic Cartoon Network cartoons now. So, and Me TV's been
Aqua Teen and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Me TV's been picking up the rights to all the, you know, what we would call Saturday morning cartoons and our parents would call Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Brother, the fact that I can turn on Me TV and see HR Puffin stuff, it's a win.
Yeah. So they're going to launch that all retro cartoon network. I don't know if it's going to be available to stream on our cable systems right away, but I think you'll be able to get it on Me TV Plus on their streaming service. So, but anyways, so you could affect wrestling the same way too. If you get somebody from the Mid-Atlantics on the NWA, tune in, you know. Let's see here. Let me get into, because I want to try to get Rick Diesel's opinion on this. Let me read our first set of ad blocks. And then we'll get to the Ric Flair Florida Pizzeria debacle, which is hilarious for so many reasons. But I'd like to tell you and remind you about our friends at Premier Auto Detailing. We say hands down, they're the best car cleaning service in town. You can call them at 336-883-5722 for more information. That's 336-883-5722 for more information. If you're like me and you just don't like washing a car yourself, you're lazy, you can call them. They'll do residential jobs. They'll help you out. Or if you need to send them to grandma's because she just ain't able to wash her car anymore, they can make it spick and span and, you know, great to drive to church on Sunday and just as great to drive to Food Line on Tuesday afternoon. They also can do commercial jobs for like if you've got a fleet service, like you got a tree service, you got cranes and cherry pickers and stuff like that. You know, they can help you with those. If you've got a used car lot and you don't want to hire a new man to keep the cars clean, they can help you with that. They operate in and around the Mount Airy area, but if the price is right, they'll come out further to help you out. It's Premier Auto Detailing. Give them a call, 336-883-5722. They'll give you a free estimate depending on the nature of your job and be glad to work with you. Be sure, as you do with all our sponsors, tell them AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Tees Creations custom apparel, boy, they can do it all. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. Although sweatshirts and hoodies aren't really in season right now, but they can do them if you want to get ready for fall. They are all over the place as far as online. I still need to put a Shopify logo on here, but they're at all these addresses there. teescreations22.com, Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook, TikTok, Tees Creations while it lasts, and Shopify. So they are on TikTok for the time being. They're very active on there. Are they not, Rick Diesel?
Yes. Well, not as active here lately, but there are plans to get back into the groove of thing. But you know, keep in mind, same people that runs the Tees Treats. So.
Yeah, well, if they hadn't figured that out by now.
So yeah, it's the t-shirt thing is taking a little bit of a hit because the food truck is so wide open, but I was informed that there will be time found. So, but if you have anything, reach out and contact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just cause she's a little absent on TikTok and everything for a little bit. That don't mean she ain't still in there, ready to do something if you need it.
Yeah. Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook, TikTok, and the website, and Shopify. Keep in mind Shopify. And so anyway, if you'd like to join us and sponsor the show, it's dirt cheap. It's got to be the lowest advertising in wrestling, I would have to say. $10 a month for 4 reads. Or if you want us to produce you a video, we can do that. It's a little more, maybe $30. Maybe we can negotiate. We'll see. But no, the audio reads like you're hearing right now are $10 a month. And if we take a week off, that's not going to affect you any, because we're going to make sure that you get 4 reads for $10. Okay. So don't worry about short months and taking vacations throughout the summer and all that kind of stuff. Cause we're going to miss a week every now and then. If nothing else, somebody's internet might break down. I mean, my internet goes crazy. Sometimes we can't have the show. So, anything like that can happen. It will not affect you one bit. Only $10 a month. We are putting a headlock on high advertising prices. Reach out to us. And if you want to check our numbers, look on Facebook on the Mid-Atlantic, on the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Facebook page. I think you can sometimes I can see the number of views, sometimes I can't. But you can check us on YouTube. But we usually have several hundred people watching us live. Well, we do sometimes. And then we get, a few more over on YouTube. But we'll definitely be glad to. We'd love to have you. Here is a picture of Ric Flair celebrating one of these individuals' graduation. I would imagine it's this individual standing next to his wife, Wendy, with the, is that a University of Florida sash on there in Gainesville?
It looks like it, yeah.
So, yeah.
This is pictures I haven't seen yet. So.
I found this on Flair's Twitter, right? See, look, right up here.
Gotcha.
This must be taken before he started drinking or before he got sloshy anyway. So the tweet that he put out about negative about the pizzeria and them treating him like crap has been taken down. I could not find that. But he put up a tweet about how this pizzeria treated him like crap and all that kind of stuff. And it took a few days for a video to surface, but it did.
Did he not think somebody was filming that? In this day and age, him being Ric Flair showing his ass, was he so drunk that it never occurred to him that somebody has a cell phone out?
Well,
and all the stuff he was saying was going to come back and bite him in the ass.
I evidently not, because this is what happened. I've got the audio for you now. If you want to seek this out, you can find it on all social media. It's under YouTube under Ric Flair Restaurant Incident Footage. I'm going to play the audio. Now, there's language warning here because he was pretty sloshed. And if you guys want to say something, just yell pause it, okay? And let me know. And let me know. It's a little over 2 minutes. So let me know if you can hear it.
Yeah, good. Well,
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
All right. So let me start it over. And listen carefully. I've got it turned all the way up. So
Yeah, good. Well, I haven't done anything wrong, except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you.
Why would it be bad for me?
Well, watch social media tomorrow.
I don't follow social media.
Well, you better.
I don't get stuck on my phone.
What's your name, nut job? Nicholas what?
Hold on.
Nicholas Dickhead.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
Don't ever talk.
You don't have to call me like that, sir.
You don't have to do this to me. If you really me and my family.
I'm not removing you.
I didn't do one thing wrong. I walked into a bathroom.
And you cussed on my kitchen manager.
Oh, you're a kid high cost. Really? What world do you live in?
The same world you
What
live in.
world? How did I cost him? Did I touch him?
Cussing, you said cuss word. You
I never said a cuss word. You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say one cuss word. God. No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him, kiss my ass.
All right, let me just pause it right there. What they're doing is they have cut him off, right, at a bar, right? They're not going to serve him anymore, and that's why he's so mad. And he said something about spending $1,500, and what he's doing now is explaining to the waitress who's standing next to the manager that he was calling a dickhead and everything, that he's going to give her $1,000 tip. So we're going to pick it up from there.
If you walk outside here,
don't have to be disrespectful to me, sir. We're being
I
disrespectful
know
to you.
you're disrespecting me,
How am I disrespectful?
telling me to leave.
I'm not telling you to leave. We're just telling you that you're cut off.
Oh, I'm cut off and I'm not really.
Yes, sir. You no matter if you're famous or not. It's the
Here,
same
ma'am,
experience.
ma'am, please give yourself $1,000 tip. $1,000 tip. This guy and I are so cool. She and I are cool. And along comes the dipshit.
You don't have to call me like that.
I just said it.
I never did.
I'll say it again. You're a dipshit.
You have to get out of here right now.
Oh, I'm leaving. Trust me. I won't come back again.
Thank God.
Come outside here and talk to me like a man.
I'm not going to do that because I'm on the clock.
You push you are. You're on the pussy clock.
You go outside and talk to if you want.
I was gonna stop.
Hey, you want to go out and talk with me in the park? Because I don't work here. I don't give a shit. We'll talk tonight.
What's that?
You heard me.
What's that? What did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
So that's it. Well, no, there's a few more seconds. Hang on. Some other guy at the bar got pissed off and said, "I'll walk outside with you." And Flair's like, "What are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to say to me?" And at that point, another waitress is coming over and talking to that guy at the bar, like, "No, do not get involved in this." All right, here we go.
Oh, I brought my whole family here.
I need one of those little straws for Bitsville.
Do you know how many?
Just one.
Just one?
I'm not mad. I have no reason to be mad.
Okay, so that looked like that at the end was that voice you heard was the cameraman asking his waitress for a little bar straw, whatever that means. So that guy was holding the phone. So this was not an employee. This sounds like it was somebody on the other side of the bar. I can't
I'm
tell.
surprised. I'm really surprised that's the only video.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it was that busy in there. You know, it looks like it was the middle of the afternoon. You know, there's just a few people at the bar. You know, have you guys seen the video? Have you guys both seen the video?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing that never would have happened at Bennigan's in Charlotte. It just wouldn't have happened back in the day.
Well, Bennigan's wanting to try to cut him off, but he probably
They knew better.
well, yeah, but he wasn't. There's stories going around that
Yeah.
he yelled "woo" in some blind grandmother's face. He started some shit in one of the bathrooms. I don't know.
It's Rick. At this point, I hate to say it, but I would fully expect all that to be true.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to say that, but it's got to that point with him.
Yeah, he's kind of cuckoo these days, and I hate that because he's my all-time favorite wrestler. But
Yeah.
Well, he's ruining any legacy. I mean, his
Mhm.
wrestling legacy will always be intact,
yeah,
but his human legacy is going down the shitter real quick. And I don't understand why there's nobody that can rein him in just a
Yeah,
little
that's-
bit. Because at some point, he's going to have to stop this crap. You know?
You would figure at this age, you've been out, you finally stopped living the gimmick.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can.
no, he's
It's been so long. Yeah, it's.
I mean, even his brush with death didn't stop him. You know,
Mm-mm.
I mean, so
What does he do? I mean, I'm sure he's got a WWE Legends contract, right?
no, he's with AEW right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's doing that AEW thing. So
He
how
also
much
has.
could he possibly be making
Okay,
for what it
let's
is?
see,
I mean,
the
what is
energy
his
drink.
income nowadays?
Okay, the energy drink. If I'm not mistaken, he has his own brand of weed these days.
yeah, I've heard that too.
So I got somebody in chat who may be able to confirm that for me if he's paying attention at the moment.
Hey, Ace.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess what got me was, okay, he's moved from North Carolina to Florida, right?
Yeah, he lived
Rumor
in
has
Atlanta. He lived in Atlanta for a while after he.
Well, rumor has it that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but rumor has he left North Carolina over debts.
That, and I heard he had a outstanding warrant at the time too.
Yeah, something like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is he's telling that waitress, give yourself $1,000 tip if you help me abuse this guy or whatever. But at what point does he not have the money to live this lifestyle anymore? You think he's got that much in reserve?
No,
He can't. I mean, he's had to have Vince and them bail him out. He had Michael from High Spots bail him out at some point. I mean, how many lines of credit can you have open at one time?
Right.
Or how many favors do you get to call in before you're out of favors?
And how many of the people that you owe those favors to watches something like this and says, I'm done with it?
Yeah.
I'm afraid that the greatest wrestler in history is going to end up as just a depressed, sad old man that this new generation, they don't give a crap about him already.
Yeah, he's a punchline to a joke because Cornette loves Flair, but he and Brian Last, when they were talking about this, and they haven't even got to the part where they watched the bar video together. I mean, I think there's a YouTube clip, but on the main podcast, they hadn't got to that point yet. They're dying laughing just reading what was breaking the first couple of days. I mean, like to the point that I was afraid Cornette was going to have a heart attack. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, when your self-professed best friend, Arn, don't talk to him no more or deal with him, and hasn't for a long time, it's like, Well,
that was over Arn getting the rights to the Four Horsemen trademark,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but, he can hold a grudge over here, it's...
Well, that's stupid. I mean, if they're such good friends, why don't they just say, well, hey, man, you got it. Can you cut me in a piece of it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Arn was like, no, man, you've made way more money in this business than I have. It ain't my fault you got spent it all.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows how that conversation went? It says here on Fox News in an article posted 2 days ago, the 75-year-old wrote on X that the incident began because of an issue I had with the kitchen manager taking too long in the bathroom. Oh, boy. Flair addressed the argument on the mid-MJ morning show in Tampa. It just, quote, this is Flair now, it just escalated, and I was wrong for getting mad, but I kind of felt like I was defending my position, Flair said. I was wrong for losing my temper. When I feel like I'm put in that area where I'm uncomfortable and all of a sudden everything just fell apart. I got upset. I was wrong for getting upset. I probably just should have walked out the door, but it caught me so off guard because we were having a wonderful time. He added, then all of a sudden, someone in their kitchen said I did something wrong in the bathroom, and there's no one there except me and him. Flair denied being drunk, although he admitted he had Michelob Ultra and probably 2 mixed drinks.
Kamikaze.
Dude, yeah, I heard him slurring, man. That's more than 2 mixed drinks.
What
For that guy.
That's like half a fifth, man.
What could possibly make somebody think that the kitchen manager's spending too much time in the bathroom?
Well,
I mean, why do you care how long he's in there? You probably already have your food.
what is what about this? This is what crossed my mind. Like maybe Flair went in the bathroom and passed out, and the kitchen manager came in there and told him he needed to get out. He'd been in there too long. I could read it either way, you know. But that said, Flair had a problem with the kitchen manager taking too long in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But if everybody knows this that has been involved in drinking, and probably you teetotalers know it too. If you're drinking alcohol, you have to pee a lot, often, frequently, even if you're drinking hard stuff. But especially if you're drinking beer, you know, once you pop the lock, man, you got to go every 15 minutes if you're pounding them, you know.
I'm betting there was only one stall in that bathroom, and the kitchen manager was in it. That started the whole thing. It's just big old pile of shit started everything.
So Flair needed to take a shit, and the guy was
right,
okay.
right, yeah.
So this has been reported, published May 10th, so Friday at 4:55 p.m. This is the latest thing I could find from WCJB in Gainesville. It says here, Gainesville Police Department officers confirm they are investigating multiple reports made by Paisano's Stone-Fired Pizza of harassment. The reports follow Ric Flair, a professional wrestling star, being kicked out of the restaurant due to an argument with staff. Officers say they are investigating reports of harassment. However, they say no direct threats have been made. Last Saturday, the Nature Boy attended the Paisanos locations on West University Avenue while in Gainesville. So while in Gainesville, go over there and have some pizza to celebrate graduation at the University of Florida. Flair was asked to leave after being cut off at the bar in an argument with the manager. The wrestler then blasted the restaurant on multiple social media sites. He claimed he was disrespected after spending $1,500 at the business. Video recorded by someone behind the bar, so it wasn't a customer, it was somebody behind the bar, and posted to social media sheds light on the situation. And so that's the latest that we have from a...
No matter how much the situation was out of hand or whatever, can I give a shout out to the guy who was basically threatening to try to whoop a 75-year-old man's ass?
Well, I mean, he was sitting there drinking, and, you know, like,
yeah,
if you're drinking, you know, if you're drinking and you're in a good mood and you're having a good time and some asshole comes up that you perceive that is being a dick and is messing up the whole atmosphere of the room.
Hell, I ain't even got to be drinking for that.
Yeah, you get the urge to, it'd be the same thing happening at the Waffle House, right? You know,
right.
You perceive that person as messing up the positive vibes, you want to kick his ass. So I see that point of it, but
I see it, but you look over and go, that's an old ass man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Looking at it from a wrestler standpoint, if I beat him, what have I proved?
Right. Oh, mercy. So anyway, that's that. I wanted to show Rick Diesel. I'm glad you're able to hang with us this long, because I want to show you our next slide and get your thoughts on what is being called the ugliest outfit at the Kentucky Derby and maybe Kentucky Derby history. Not Seth Rollins, but Becky Lynch was dressed this way at the Kentucky Derby. Jim Cornette said she looked like a can of biscuits that had been popped open with this outfit, and which made me almost spit water out of my mouth. It was hilarious. What do you think of that outfit, Rick Diesel?
I think she looks like she got stuck in an alien portal. but I've never been a Becky Lynch fan, and we all know this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I've seen it, and I'm like, that is. It's not so much ugly as it's just stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know
I
that
still
the
say-
Kentucky Derby's about big hats. You know, the women wear big hats to the Kentucky Derby. So it's a thing. But
When we covered this last week, I was missing you so much, and I left it. I was like, man, I got to hear from Rick Diesel on this. I'm going to save it till
I
next week.
still say it looks like a costume from the movie The Fifth Element.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing I loved about it still was when she went out on Raw Monday night after it happened, and Michael Cole was like, basically, Becky, you know, what the hell was up with the outfit at the Kentucky Derby? And Becky, who is wildly popular, looked out at the crowd and said, I know, but I owned it, right? And the crowd kind of like groaned in polite applause. And I don't know, Bex. We love you, but fucked up on that one.
yeah, this was one of the worst costume decisions and poor old Goober Pyle over there beside of her in his peach outfit.
Yeah, but that's more traditional Kentucky Derby outfit for a man. You know, I mean, that's
So
about
three more guys, and he's singing a song.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, I mean, I think. See, here's my thing. At what point is this related to her image in wrestling, or is she just so starving for attention that she's got to the point where there's nothing off limits as long as somebody's talking about her?
While I was at the beach, I met a person from Ireland, a girl who grew up there. While Jinky and I were down at the Tiki Bar, and she was very sweet, kind, you know, but you could tell she was crazy. And I was glad that I'd seen Becky Lynch on TV for so many years, because as soon as I heard that accent, I knew where she was from. And so it struck up a conversation with her immediately. So maybe it's something with Irish people that they're kind of nuts. I don't know. I mean, this is the first.
Well, they're drunk a lot.
Well, this is the first full-blooded Irish person I've ever talked to, you know, just shooting the breeze, right? I've met people from the UK, from Belgium, from France, you know, but I've never met anybody from Ireland before and had a meaningful conversation with them. And I mean, but I've always heard about Becky Lynch over the years. She's sweet. She's got a big heart, but she's nuts. Even going back to her days in the independence in Canada, right? That's just what I've heard. Not by any reliable sources, just junk on the internet, but it's consistent, right? Like, she's great, but she's nuts.
In a way, though, aren't we all?
Yes. Yes.
You'll appreciate this, Matt. It's Cornette quote. You're either crazy and you get in this business, or you get in this business and this business makes you crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I think the first example was Becky Lynch.
Becky, yeah. So,
but they do look funny together there.
God. She was jealous of his ring gear. That's what that is. She's jealous of his ring gear, and she said, "You know what? I'm going to wear it today."
Yeah.
Well, personally, looking at this picture right here, I feel like he's the guy that sells encyclopedias. He's come to this weird woman's house who's doing her son in the middle. And she's invited him to watch and possibly film.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, because this is turning into a Stephen King novel, they're actually aliens that turn into giant cats.
Yeah.
But it's only on a website that you can't get in North Carolina.
Well, ain't that the truth?
Right.
Boy?
This is stepson and the encyclopedia salesman.
I don't understand, man. It ain't fair. They took away the porn from us and then gave us DraftKings. Well, I'm not good at gambling, but I was good at watching Pornhub. So maybe I'm revealing a little too much. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but when you think you're alone in the house, watching Pornhub is a gamble too.
if the red light's on the camera, look out.
Yeah, that means they're watching you.
That teddy bear move.
Yeah. If you buy the movie in room 3, I can guarantee you're the movie in room 1.
He's going for it. Well, we used to watch the security camera in the movie theater like that and watch couples who were overly affectionate, and be like,
we now have the guy who caught Pee-wee.
they're, man, I wish I'd have been the one to do that, man. I'd standing there like this in front of the New York Times, my coat all proud. Yeah. Pervert catches pervert. But, let's see. I need to read the second round of ads. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me put Becky and Seth back up here real quick and tell you all about our friends at Branch Management. If I can get the thing to flip, there we go. And this is the time of year you really need the landscaping, folks. You don't want to let these bushes and these trees get out of control. You might say, well, I don't want to cut back my trees. Look, man, trees need pruning on a regular basis so they don't get all wild and their branches get all twisted up and they end up choking on their own stupidity for growing crazy. You got to manage trees. They're just like a pet. A pet that all you have to do is give it water and give it a haircut and it'll leave you alone. I mean, it's not nearly as high maintenance as a dog or a cat, but a plant is a living thing. It needs your help to get through life. So you help that plant by calling Branch Management, and they'll help you with landscaping. They'll cut the grass for you, help you plant trees and shrubbery and everything. And you can even get hanging baskets from them to decorate up the porch. And, we're getting into May now. You got to think, like, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, time to get plants going is running short. Summer is going to be here in just, what's today? May the 12th. The summer is going to be here in just about a month and a week. So, you're running out of time. You need to get those hanging baskets up and get that house all nice and pretty. And you want to make your neighbors jealous. You do, because they always making those snide comments about your flower bed every year. Even though, they pay somebody to come over there. Why don't you get some professional help, man, and shut them up, man? For saying, trying to make insinuations like your house doesn't look as good as it should. Pressure washing, general contracting, gutter cleaning, if best parts, free estimates. Give them a call, 336-648-2487, 336-648-2487 for Branch Management. And of course, don't forget, you can find us on YouTube at the AIWF Network and AIWF Ringside Wrestling. You can shoot us an email if you have any questions at AIWF20@hotmail.com. We'd love to hear from you there. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and ring that bell for notifications. I am so proud. We are approaching 1,200 subscribers on the Ringside Wrestling channel. And for a startup niche independent wrestling promotion, that is just unfathomable. And I thanked the crowd last night in Mount Airy when I did. Remember how I told you, Rick Diesel, like a year ago when I would ask people if they knew about the YouTube channels, they would just stare at me.
Yeah.
Well, man, hands went up all over the building last night.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for your support. And so last but not least, the most delicious concessions in wrestling. And if you are going up to Wilkesboro for the All-Star race this weekend, they are going to be at the Walmart in Wilkesboro on Friday. Rick Diesel,
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. They're going to be up there 2 days. So you can, if you are up in the Wilkesboro area or you're coming in for the race and you see this show and you're like, I don't want to go all the way to Mount Airy for wrestling. Well, you're coming in for NASCAR, they're going to be at the Walmart. And you're going to have to go by Walmart to get beer, to get ice, to get snacks, to get something, especially if you're camping, right? So get you something good to eat so you don't go into Walmart and shop hungry, because you don't want to do that, because that will end in disaster. Don't go in there hungry. Get something to eat from T's Treats. Go in and get your supplies, and you're going to be all set. So that is it in Wilkesboro at the Walmart. Is that a super center or like a?
Yes, it is a super center.
Okay.
We're right out front.
All right. The Walmart Super Center in Wilkesboro. You can Google it. You can find it on Google Maps. Tease Treats will be there. They'll be back on June 1st for wrestling, of course. But this, the All-Star race coming back North Wilkesboro. This is their second year back in operation after closing in 1996. So we know a lot of you are going up there to support that. David Parrish and his new haircut's going to be up there next weekend, I understand. If you have any questions, you'd like to talk to the people that operate Tease Treats to see about if they would come hang outside your business, because it will get people to come in the door. If you got, somebody cooking up hot dogs and chicken tenders and pizza.
Yeah, because, Tease Treats broke 4,000 followers on their Facebook page.
Wow.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, they can get people to come.
Yep, absolutely. So check them out. If you're going to be in Wilkesboro for the race next weekend, definitely check them out. That's Tease Treats. And, of course, you can learn more about them on
Ask
Facebook.
about the new deep fried s'mores.
Oh.
Well, hey now.
My wife would say that sounds sinful.
It's 2 huge marshmallows, deep fried in funnel cake batter, covered in graham crackers, chocolate syrup, whipped cream, and I think there may be something else on top.
My blood sugar just went up about 40 points, but
I need to get her to get you a picture of that. She come up with that during Merle Fest. She said, I want to try something. And the next thing I knew, there was this creation.
Yep. Wow. Incredible.
AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling fans, check out King's Hot Dog, located down at Rural Hall, North Carolina, at Village Square Plaza, right off of Highway 52, exit 118, where you can find anything from corn dogs, BLTs, chuck wagon, barbecue, and the world-famous King Dog. That's right, 14 inches, 2 pounds of meat, and with drive-through service available if you're in a hurry. Stop on by today, Village Square Plaza, Rural Hall.
Some good hot dog, fans.
So I wanted to bring this up because Reagan wanted to discuss it. She mentioned it last night. And from what I've read around the internet, I don't see any reliable, I don't call them reliable sources because I don't really trust wrestling websites,
Mark man.
Yeah, because most of it these days is just clickbait. But they're saying Sky Blue got sexually harassed at a Ring of Honor taping, which doesn't surprise me, knowing the kind of people that go to Ring of Honor tapings. But that's mean, Matt.
Truth hurts.
Well, Sky Blue, AEW. Let's see what I can find out here. Creepy fan is kicked out of. That's from Cage Side Seats. Are they reliable or no?
Not. Ed.
Everything
that I've read, borderline sexual harassment, but it was very stalkerish, and just continually, I don't know, it like creepy dad stepdaughter energy, if you know what I mean, from what I've read. So
yeah, I don't see where anybody's quoting. They're just saying that he was saying this. I heard he said something like, "Ooh, I like it when you're up on the ropes," and basically it sounded like old Cheech and Chong material. Like, at first, I'm gonna get you to take off your coat.
yeah.
Then I'm gonna eat you to take off your shoes.
Couple of daddy comments and blah blah blah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna do the bit. And then I'm gonna get you to take off your shoes. So yeah, but I mean, Sky Blue though, the weight. Now look, ladies, this is America. You have the right to dress however you want to. But Sky Blue dresses in gear that accentuates her ass. That's the first thing you notice about her when you see her step in the ring. Am I wrong?
You're right.
You're not wrong.
Okay. All right. So, not saying that she deserves to be sexually harassed or grabbed or anything like that, but you gotta expect you're gonna draw some comments from male fans, especially the male fans at ringside at Ring of Honor, who probably hadn't ever got laid and don't know how to talk to girls, and just like watch Pornhub and think that's how you go about things. It's because they're
What exactly was the story? I'm curious.
that they kicked out some fan for making creepy comments towards Sky Blue, although nobody.
That was it? Wasn't no sexual assault?
No, didn't
No.
touch her or anything. They said she went in the back and cried.
So somebody sets up to her and hurt her feelings, and
And they got kicked out of the show. And there's people saying shit on Reddit, but Reddit, you can go on there and say anything.
You might as well have read it on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Hey, Reddit is good if you want to see people's photos from the 60s, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or see what your town looked like before you were born.
Yeah.
Reddit's great for that. But like as far as sniffing out what happened, at a wrestling show, it's not going to be my first stop.
I swear, it's like you think about what Dawn Marie and Francine put up with in the ECW arena.
Yeah.
It's somebody said something mean to me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to belittle anything that legitimately happens or any of that, but you're in a business that you're supposed to elicit a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the reaction you wanted or not, you got one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if it was so creepy that they tossed a guy, I don't know if it's oversensitive or whatever, but I know at WWE, like if you're at ringside and you say something inappropriate, security will warn you like 4 or 5 times before you get tossed. I mean, they're going to give you every chance in the world. And so as quickly as this happened, it's just like,
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or if the comments legitimately elicited the need to, all right, this dude's got to go. That's, I don't, like you said, I can't trust what any wrestling website says about it.
Yeah. So unless we were there, we really just don't know.
Right.
But Sky Blue, if you're listening to this, and I'm sure you're not, but if you ever run across it one day, in no way do we think you're wrong, right? I would hope your skin would get a little thicker as you move further into your career. But you're lovely, you're talented. Good luck, lady, and keep moving forward. But no, I just don't know. Rick Diesel, what do you think?
Well, I can't. See, I'm from a different time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from a time to where fans say what they wanted to say. You would put yourself out there into the public eye, and if you couldn't handle the reaction you get, good or bad, negative or positive, you did not need to be in this business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I was raised. I was raised in this business back when every man in the audience talked shit to the women, and every man in the audience just about wanted to stab the bad guy.
Yeah,
after you did. I've known wrestlers been shot, stabbed, attacked. Now, if it had been, if the fan had touched her inappropriately or grabbed her tit or ass or whatever, then I understand, okay? But if you can't handle somebody saying words to you in a business that, like Steve said, you are out there to solicit a reaction. Just because you don't get the reaction you want, don't mean you need to go back in the back and cry and have this person punished for being a fan and doing exactly what you are supposed to expect out of the fans.
Yeah.
I've been called some of the worst. I've had my family talked about. I've had they've insulted my mama, my wife, my kids, myself, and said just god awful things to me. And I just walk away with a smile because I was doing my job, and that's what I was out there. That's the reaction. I was going for that reaction. I don't know what she's going for, but if you're going to wear your gear literally to the point that your ass cheeks hangs out, so much that you can probably see the tips of your ribs, then people are going to have a reaction to that display you're putting on. So, but getting back to my original point, this is a business to where if you're liked, you get a reaction. If you're not liked, you get a reaction. But if you don't have the thick skin for this, then get out of it. Go do community theater. Go work at a goddamn grocery store. But don't be in wrestling.
Yeah.
Because we're whether you want to call it a sport, a performance art, entertainment, whatever, it's part of the job to get reactions out of the people who buy those tickets. And it's also part of your job to shut the fuck up and take it.
Yep. And
either way.
And wrestling, Sky, you're working blue. You get what I'm saying? You are working blue. Just like some comedians work blue. You're working blue. And blue collar for those of you in Rio Linda. So my whole thing is like, at WWE, I've been at ringside enough times to know, as long as you don't cuss, you can basically say whatever you want to. Now, if you say some real sexually perverted shit, you're probably going to have a firm one-time warning. You know what I mean? But what's stopping her? This is Ring of Honor. It does not air on regular TV, right? So
does it air at all?
Oh, yeah, you have to pay for it on their website. And so you've only got the real diehard. What stops her from looking down at this guy and go, "Oh, I'm glad to see you finally made out of mom's basement, needle dick." Like, and then it ends because he's like, and everybody around him's like, "Oh," and he's embarrassed.
And you know what? That's a good point, Matt. Has she never been taught to out talk the fans?
Yeah.
I mean, has she never been taught to have good comebacks, or is it just tuck your tail between your legs and run to the back and cry in a corner?
Yeah.
Not pick up for yourself.
Yeah. Rule number one of the comeback, the response is never proportionate. You go above and beyond and shut it down.
Yeah. I was doing something in the ring years ago in Elkin where I was supposed to be like kind of an asshole ring announcer. And some guy was mouthing off to me in the front row, and I used a line that I'd heard Flair use many years ago because he was sitting with a girl, and I said, "You keep your mouth shut, punk, or I'm gonna take your woman home and your girlfriend home and make a woman out of her." It said something like that, and I remember his face just turning blood red, but he sat there and shut the fuck up for the rest of the night, and I was like, "Man, if I was witty, I might be able to do this for a living." Because I'm just
how many times I had, just your general "you suck" thrown my way, and the retort of "and you paid to watch me, so who sucks more?"
That's a good one. Yeah, and you paid to watch me.
Yeah,
Hey, I see another article right here when I was doing it's on Cage Side Seats. It says the Dynamite Kid loses his debut match in AEW. So Dynamite
nephew, ain't it?
I'm not sure, but why? Look, y'all know more about booking than I do. I couldn't book my way out of a brown paper bag, but what you bring somebody in with that much name recognition and beat them on the first night? That doesn't seem like it makes sense to me.
Well,
okay.
I know we're talking inside baseball, but we're far enough into the show that the marks have left.
Well, no, it's going to depend on his experience. It's going to depend. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just because he's got those credentials, don't mean that he might not need to see how things are.
I got you, but like if you take AEW's track record and mishandling things like this over the years, that's what concerns me.
Was it on one of their big shows, or was it
on Collision? It was on the Saturday night show.
I personally want to know how you don't debut Billington's kid, the Dynamite Kid, on Dynamite, but
it's just me. Yeah, that's a major fuck up.
On the plus, they did have him in the ring with Dax, so one, you already know the match going to be good. It's going to be handled proper for what it is, and the fact that you can get over without going over. And it's
been on a shirt.
So Dax
Yeah.
Dax actually won a match.
He actually does that more than you would know, but dude,
By himself, but not in a
I
tag
love
team.
Casey. I love Casey to death, and he is the best hand they have in that company.
They
Period.
just don't know it. They just don't know it. I
Mhm.
agree. I've never met the guy, so I can't say I love him, but I will agree that since the first time I saw him step into an NXT ring many years ago in a one-on-one match, I had been a fan. And then when I learned he was that indie guy that used to work around here, KC McKnight, wow, okay. So I saw him win WWE Tag Team Gold in the Spectrum Center, beating the New Day at Clash of Champions a few years ago. So
Dude,
it was a real night.
when him, Charlie Dreamer, and Corey were all together, I would put them up against anybody in the country. Those three, I love them all.
Wow. Other modern wrestling stuff, just to breeze over, and then we'll get out of here. King of the Ring tournament has started up, and one of the things they're going to do, men and women's this year, they're going to have the semifinals and finals in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, at the end of the month, Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if you guys want to get into the geopolitical end of it. I'll just say this: you aren't going to help bring people into the modern era and way of thinking by taking shit away from them. You know, especially, I think it's a good thing that WWE is bringing the wrestling show. Look at those children in Saudi Arabia. If for nothing else, they are making memories that are going to stick with them when they get older and when they take these government jobs and stuff like that. And everybody wants to talk about blood money and all that kind of stuff. Don't really give a shit about that. When I see all those smiling kids, man, I forget about all that stuff. So
that's the reason you get into this, man.
Yep. And so, but anyway, the tournament started, and a cool thing that's happening this year is they're actually having tournament matches on the live events on Saturday and Sunday. Like Tiffany at Stratton advanced, she didn't wrestle on TV. She wrestled in a house show match. I can say it this late in the show. I wrestled at a live event and won her match, and that actually counts. So cool. I'm excited about this. I think this is like we're seeing a big. We don't even know the ramifications, the changes that we're beginning to see in WWE now. Well, what it's going to be like 5 years from now,
brother. When house shows matter again, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, and all you got to do is send one camp. Well, I mean, they film them for training purposes anyway, so you've already got the video. Something great happens, throw it up on Raw, throw it up on Twitter. You know, you don't even have to waste time on Raw anymore. You just put it on your social platforms.
Exactly.
I think I need to get back to moving belts around on house shows.
But you know, they never really
that'd be
did that
great.
much. Yeah, I agree, but they never really did that much in WWF anyway, did they? Even back in the day.
Occasionally,
yeah.
But I think it would give more credibility to the company.
The last one I remember switching that was big was AJ beating Kevin Owens in Madison Square Garden for the U.S. title, but that was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You ever notice it always happens in the Garden too?
That's on my bucket list. I want to go see wrestling in the Garden so bad.
I mean, when Nash beat Backlund for the heavyweight title,
that was 95. Yeah. So some 20 years in between them, right? You know, maybe more. But I think that's cool. And I'll tell you something else that I think that's cool about WWE that I want you guys' opinions on and see if you view it the same way I do. Okay. All right. Now stay with me because this is something I've been thinking about for months. All right. So Disney buys the rights to Lucasfilm, right? And the first thing they do is start making all these new Star Wars related TV shows. Now, all these people that are making these shows are our age or a little older or a little younger, right? They grew up loving Star Wars. So they are essentially getting to create actual storylines out of what they've been doing for years, creating fan fiction. Like the franchise is being driven by the fans now, right? And so I see some of the same elements starting to surface with WWE now that TKO is in full control. It's like the fans are producing it. The fans are running the camera. The fans are, coming up with or doing the production stuff. I'm not saying the fans are booking, not saying that. I'm just saying the fans are producing the show. These people they've got working for them now, if they're not WWE fans, they're experienced combat sports fans that have the know-how to make this shit look better. But like that camera shot that they do on every TV show now, because people rave about it, where they follow a wrestler through the back and up through Gorilla and out into the arena behind them so you can see what it looks like, or through the concession stand, they buy some popcorn, walk down through the fans and go to the ring and interfere in the match, stuff like that. I mean, to me, it's like, you know, a whole new age, and now the people that grew up loving the shit are actually making the shit. What do y'all think of that opinion? Accurate, or am I way off?
No, you're there. You're there. I mean, the moment that they set up NXT at Full Sail, where you're a production-based college as is, you've got fans of the product already being able to intern for your cameras, your riggings, da-da-da. I mean, from that moment on, it pretty much what you're saying, Matt, is it happened then, and now you've got the roadblock out of the way for that vision to actually come through. And it does. It makes it more entertaining to me. You know, you get that little bit of cinema with it. I hate to say, I'm waiting on the day that somehow there's a body cam on a wrestler, so you're getting a first-person view of the match. I know it's coming.
I hope they don't. I hope everybody, if somebody suggests that, be like, no, they tried that with the referee in WCW 91.
Yeah.
Let me show you that video.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts,
yeah.
Rick Diesel?
Well, I think, and I agree with what you're saying, Matt. But I to go a step further, I think it's a new hierarchy trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's as much just the people who were fans of the business or whatever's doing it now, because I feel like most of the people who's doing all that is probably the same people that's been there for years. But I do feel like what Steve said was the fact that the hurdles are out of the way, the roadblocks are out of the way. You don't have Vince going, I don't like it, so it's not going to happen. You have people out there now who's going, okay, we have these fresh ideas. Let's try them to see if they work. And Triple H is going, you know, I've always wanted to do this, but I've never been allowed to, because a lot of the following through the motions of going from point A to point B, was that not already a thing in UFC and boxing?
Yeah.
You know, they would follow them from the dressing room to
all the way to the ring. Yep.
Yeah. So it's almost like the UFC now is, some of their ideas are flowing over into WWE, and it's just turning out that it's a really good fit, and probably should have been there a long time ago, but Vince was so old school. And I get where Vince is coming from. Old school gets into you. You can't get it out. You know, and you get this thing like, well, I made billions of dollars on this doing it my way. Why would I want to change it now?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. It's the old ain't broke, don't fix it motto. But I feel like there's a lot of these ideas have probably been there for years. They were just wasn't allowed to do it. And now that, like I said, UFC or TKO's in there, and they're letting UFC and at what point are you going to start seeing WWE stuff flow over into UFC?
It's already scheduled.
You already do.
Yep. The next NXT PLE is going to be taking place at the UFC headquarters in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So I mean, the two is going to interact with each other, intertwine. You know, and I think it's going to make both better.
Dana put out
I feel like the UFC fans are not going to accept it as well as the WWE fans, because WWE fans loves the show, where the UFC fans are like, I want that fake shit over here, you know?
Yeah. Funny thing is, Dana White in a press conference the other day said, the way the setup is, they're all going to be doing branded weekends. So he's going to have the slap fight on Fridays, UFC on Saturday and WWE on Sunday, same city. So yeah, just one right. Pretty much we've got a traveling circus again, people.
Well, is that I read where he said that there was a clickbait headline that said Dana White says WWE PLEs on Saturday night are a thing of the past. I didn't click on it because I didn't believe it. But since you gave me some context, maybe I can go look it up. But would that be oversaturating the market? Because I don't know that if you brought a show like that to Charlotte, I don't think the Power Slap would draw well. The UFC would draw well. The WWE would draw fairly well if it was by itself. But see, if you put
you're
WWE,
going to get some crossover. You're not going to get a lot, but you will get some. I promise you're going to get more crossover from the WWE fans to UFC
than vice versa.
What that? See, I haven't read the article, so you're sure it said that they was all three going to be in the same town, or they all three going to be in a town on the same weekend?
I think that's all going to be logistical, depending on which city. But you're going to have more than likely it'll be slap fighting UFC in one city, WWE in another. Because I think there's still only certain areas that UFC can go and not fully like what WWE can.
Yeah.
Due to commission regulations.
I see an article here, but it's back from 2023. UFC and WWE could stage all-star TKO weekend events, but that's from last year. So that's the only thing I see so far. Maybe somebody recycled that article and sent it back out again.
I know Dana actually was in a press conference and brought it up. So, if Dana's talking about it, at least, you got the full backing on both sides of the company. So,
yeah.
Man's about making money.
Yeah. And he does a good job at that. I just wish that they would take the UFC regular televised events out behind the damn paywall. Because I watched them and I was way more into it when they had the deal with Fox. Because they would show the shows on Fox and on FS1. And then guess what? 2 weeks later, if we didn't have a wrestling show, Jinky and I were headed over to B-Dubs to pound chicken wings.
UFC.
And watch the UFC pay-per-view. And so, but ever since they went to ESPN, I'm just like, nope, you won't give me access to the regular show. I ain't doing it. You got to give me something on free TV. But I'm just a cheapskate. But
I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I'll pay the $10, $15 cover charge at a sports bar to be able to watch the pay-per-view instead of buying it at the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about the ESPN deal with UFC is going to be running out soon, isn't it?
I haven't looked at any of that lately. I'd have to check.
Let's see. When is UFC deal with ESPN over?
While you're looking that up, it's funny. I'm starting to see more of the UFC guys that are saying they're willing to do like a crossover into WWE also. It's like, hey, if I can make some money over here, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. This says the current deal runs through 2025, so the rest of this year and next year, and then it's over. And so they'll be renegotiating next year.
They'll end up on Netflix also.
That would be great.
Netflix has been toying around. Have you noticed they've been toying around with live stuff?
Well, they're going to host a fight.
The Brady roast.
Yeah, I mean they're starting to do. I think they've one or two comedy specials live.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
they're
whole
gonna have the Tyson fight.
They're testing for Raw.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bet they'll have Raw live. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it'll be live, and then you can watch it whenever you want to as well. So.
Yeah.
But what I wonder is, now I know that with Netflix picking up Raw, and Netflix also has the rights to the WWE network everywhere but the United States. Am I correct?
I think.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Well, because Peacock, they're still in the middle of the deal with Peacock, right? So after that contract expires, it could switch over.
Right, right.
Because what was weird is one of my buddies, Jep, in the Philippines, that when he comes over here for work, we hang out. When I go over there, we hang out and go to the shooting range. He's a great guy, but he was asking me about Disney Plus because his kids were getting on him about Disney Plus. They wanted him to stream it, and he's on the fence about it because they already have Netflix and something else that's just we don't have it in this country, but they have it in Asia. It's another type of streaming service.
Pornhub.
No, it's not that. He wouldn't be caught. He
Well
wouldn't
played.
be caught. He would not be caught dead looking at that. But he was asking me about Disney Plus, and so I was looking it up, while we were chatting. And Disney Plus in the Philippines at the time had the rights to the WWE Network stuff. So if you were a Disney Plus subscriber and you lived in the Philippines, you could get the WWE Network stuff. See, so it varies from country to country. I mean,
right, depending on what contracts with what provider where. Yeah.
Yep. So it'll be weird to see how it all shakes out. It's a very exciting time to be alive and a wrestling fan. I will say that. It seems like, and I hate to say this, but the stench of the bad behavior of Vince McMahon is being washed away. And so,
Yep. You know what the greatest thing about it right now is, though, Matt? What you don't need a subscription to see is the AIWF network.
Absolutely. Or the Ringside
Yes.
Wrestling channel. We are absolutely free of charge over the air. Yes, over the internet anyway.
And growing.
Yes, we are. Oh, and thank you for that support. So please, this is a good time to mention. Need that like, subscribe, and ring that bell. But Rick Diesel, you made it a lot farther than I was thinking you was able to. But I'm all out of topics unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about.
I'm good for this
I know
week,
I know it's getting ready. I'm getting ready to have to get off here anyhow. So it's
All
a
right.
good time.
Well, let's shut it down. Thank you for coming to the show last night. Thank you for watching tonight.
Extreme content, June 1st.
Yes, extreme content will be coming out June 1st. We'll be having announcements as we move forward, and we will be right back here next week. Same bad time, same back channel. So until next time, so long for now.